Hello everyone and welcome to this brand new webinar brought to you by 5 पैसा। आज का टॉपिक जिस पे के बारे में हम बात करने वाले हैं वो है टैक्सेशन पे। यस, वी आर अप्रोचिंग द एंड ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2025। इसका मतलब ये है दैट यू मस्ट स्टार्ट ब्रिंगिंग आउट योर टैक्स कैलकुलेटर्स। बट आज का जो टॉपिक है इट्स अ बिट मोर नीश फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू हु इन्वेस्ट इन द मार्केट्स, हु इन्वेस्ट via mutual funds or in equity markets, even trade in them. This topic is very important for you. We are going to be talking about how you as investors and traders can actually save on your taxes. जी हाँ, even अगर आपके gains है market में जो आपने book किए हैं, and I'm sure considering that अक्टूबर या सितंबर तक काफी market में बड़ा चढ़ाव आया है, सो अगर आपने गेन्स एंजॉय किए हैं, देयर इज अ वे टू एक्चुअली सेव ऑन द टैक्स बिल दैट विल कम आउट ऑफ दोस कैपिटल गेन्स। वो कैसे होगा? वेल, कीप वॉचिंग। फॉर नाउ, ऑफ कोर्स, आई हैव विथ मी अ गेस्ट, अ वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट joining us to discuss this. It is a chartered accountant and a tax expert, Megha Jain. उनके पास more than a decade of experience है. She has worked with several big four companies. So let's get going then. Megha, thank you so much for joining us today on 5 पैसा। सबसे पहले हमें बताइए that what exactly is tax harvesting in capital gains? उसका मतलब क्या होता है?
Sure. Thank you, Mubina. Thank you for the warm welcome and a very warm welcome to all the audience of 5paisa also who are joining us for today's webinar. So, tax loss harvesting. When we talk about tax loss harvesting, it's a very unique strategy wherein an investor, a regular investor or a trader in the equity market can go ahead and minimize their gains and consequently also minimize their taxes, the tax outflow which will be there by employing tax loss harvesting techniques.
सो ये कैसे काम करता है? समझो मेरे पास मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में मैंने थोड़े गेन्स बुक किए हैं एंड लेट्स अज्यूम दैट वो 1 लाख रुपीस के ऊपर है, इफ आई एम अ लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर। सो एंड ऑफ कोर्स देयर विल बी सम स्टॉक्स इन माय पोर्टफोलियो जो रेड में है। अभी पिछले 6-7 महीने में तो मार्केट में काफी गिरा हुआ है, तो हो सकता है कि हमारे कुछ व्यूअर्स के पोर्टफोलियो में कुछ स्टॉक्स रेड में हो गए। तो हाउ डू यू यूज दिस टू ब्रिंग डाउन योर टैक्स लायबिलिटी?
Sure. So, Mubina, talking about executing a tax loss harvesting strategy, first up, you need to assess what are your total gains for the year. Now, a lot of audience members here will be aware that if you have a long term capital gain, then up to rupees 1.25 lakh is exempt. Now, your tax liability is on any gains over and above 1.25 lakhs. So essentially, what you have to do, the first step you have to do is identify all the underperforming stocks in your portfolio. So here is where, if you are an expert, if you're somebody who does trading very regularly, you will be aware, or you can also connect with a financial advisor to understand the same. Identify all the underperformers in your portfolio. Once you identify them, think through and go ahead and sell them. Realize the losses. It is very, very important that you go ahead and realize the losses. Now, whatever are the losses you have, these losses can be set off against the long term capital gains you have made. So, what happens now? Let us say you have total gains of rupees 5.25 lakhs. Out of this 5.25 lakh, 1.25 lakh will be exempt. So, you have remaining 4 lakh gains which you have to offer to tax. Now, if you go ahead and book losses anywhere between 1 to 4 lakhs, the entire amount will be exempt. On the other hand, if you have made losses of, let's say, only rupees 2 lakhs, then rupees 2 lakhs will be adjusted against the taxable gain of 4 lakh, and you will end up paying taxes only on the remainder amount of rupees 2 lakhs. So you must have seen here how we have brought down the amount of capital gains, and consequently the tax liability also reduces.
ओके, क्या ये शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए भी एप्लीकेबल है? अभी हमने ऑफ कोर्स लॉन्ग टर्म का एग्जांपल दिया है, बट उसमें ऑफ कोर्स द लायबिलिटी कम्स इन ओनली अगर आपके गेन्स 1.25 लाख के ऊपर है। बट व्हाट अबाउट शॉर्ट टर्म, जो कि हमारे टैक्स ब्रैकेट के हिसाब से टैक्स है, तो कभी-कभी उसका टैक्स इंप्लीकेशन ज्यादा बड़ा हो सकता है। सो डज दिस अप्लाई इवन फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन्स एंड कैपिटल लॉसेस?
Most certainly, yes. Even for short-term gains that you have during the year, let us say you have short-term gains of rupees 4 lakh. Let me clear it to the audience members. If you have only short-term gains, there are no exemptions. Exemption is only for long-term gain. From these short-term gains as well, if you have any short-term losses, you can go ahead and adjust.
So क्या मैं शॉर्ट टर्म लॉसेस जो मेरे हो सकते हैं, क्या मैं वो लॉन्ग टर्म गेन्स के सामने सेट ऑफ कर सकती हूँ? और सिमिलरली वाइस वर्सा, क्या लॉन्ग टर्म लॉसेस अगर कोई है वैसे शॉर्ट टर्म गेन्स के हिसाब से एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं?
All right. So if you have any short-term capital loss, short-term capital loss can be adjusted both against your short-term gains and long-term gains. Consequently, on the other hand, if you have any long-term loss, such long-term loss can be adjusted only against long-term gains.
ओके, ये रूल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है दैट
Yes.
अगर आपके पास शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल लॉसेस है तो वो आप आपके शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन और लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन को क्लब करके उसमें से माइनस कर सकते हैं एंड देन यू कैन पे टैक्सेस, ऑफ कोर्स डिपेंडिंग ऑन एसटीसीजी और एलटीसीजी के क्या रेट्स है। जैसे कि हमने बताया कि एलटीसीजी में 1.25 लाख के ऊपर के गेन्स को आपको एडजस्ट कर के ऊपर आपको टैक्स भरना है और एसटीसीजी में ऐसा कोई एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट नहीं है। बट लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल लॉस आप सिर्फ एलटीसीजी या लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन के सामने कट कर सकते हैं। जैसे मेघा ने एग्जाम्पल बताया कि अगर आपका 5.25 लाख एलटीसीजी है और समझो 2 लाख का एलटीसीएल है तो आपको 5.25 -2 -1.25 जो बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट है वो बैलेंस अमाउंट पे ही आपको इनकम टैक्स भरना है। एंड सिमिलरली एसटीसीजी का भी कैलकुलेशन वैसा होगा। अभी मेगा मान लीजिए दैट मेरा जो लॉस का फिगर है कुड बी, मैंने मेरे पोर्टफोलियो से अच्छी तरह से परखा, आई कंसल्टेड अ फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर एंड आई फील दैट आई हैव फिल्ड माय पोर्टफोलियो विद अ लॉट ऑफ अंडर परफॉर्मर्स एंड दीज स्टॉक्स मे नॉट बी गुड फॉर मी, इट मे नॉट बी गुड फॉर माय ओवरऑल पोर्टफोलियो। तो मैं डिसाइड करती हूँ कि ठीक है, मुझे ये बहुत सारी स्टॉक्स को मेरे पोर्टफोलियो से अभी निकाल देना है व्हेन माय लॉसेस आर प्रोबेबली अ लिटिल स्मॉलर, बट लेट्स से माय टोटल लॉसेस एक्सीड द गेन्स, तो उस परिस्थिति में क्या होता है?
In that case also, what you can go ahead and do, Mubina, to the extent of your gains, you go ahead and adjust the losses in the current year. Whatever is the unabsorbed loss or whatever is the loss that you're not able to set off in the current year, you can carry it forward. Now, under the Income Tax Act, there is a provision which lets all the taxpayer carry forward this loss for a maximum period of 8 assessment years. So, let us say you have loss in the current assessment year and you can carry it forward. You have unabsorbed capital losses. So these losses can be carried forward for a period of 8 years. Again, we have already discussed the set of provisions. They will continue.
But इसमें condition ये है that I have to book my losses before the financial year ends?
Absolutely, yes. More than booking the losses, yes, you have to book the losses by 31st of March. But the more important condition is here is that you have to go ahead and file your return of income on time. Now, return of income has to be filed within the filing due date. So, for individuals, typically the due date of filing the return of income is 31st July of the assessment year. However, if you are an individual who is subject to tax audit, so if you have engaged in presumptive taxation, or if you have turnover criteria, you meet those turnover criteria wherein you have to undergo tax audit, then 31st October becomes the due date. So make sure you go ahead and file your return of income within those due dates. And also important is to go ahead and register those losses. So this is a common mistake I see amongst taxpayers or people who file the return of income. Sometimes for a particular year, they may not have any gains at all from the stock market. They may have only realized losses. Now they forget to go ahead and report these realized losses, thinking it's anyway a loss, I don't have to pay the taxes. Please do not do this mistake. You may have loss in the current year, but there are chances in the next 8 years, at some point you will have gain. So at that point in time, you can go ahead and offset those gains against the losses that you've been carrying forward. So reporting of loss is very important and timely reporting them.
Actually, this is a very important point, but it also brings me to another question. आपने कहा that जो आपका loss figure है, जिस साल में आपने जितना book किया है in terms of gains, the loss also which you can claim will be limited to the amount of gains. और वो जो एक्स्ट्रा है वो कैरी फॉरवर्ड होगा. सो इट मीन्स टू से मेघा दैट वी कैन नॉट सेट इट ऑफ अगेंस्ट द अदर हेड्स ऑफ इनकम. जैसे समझो मैंने साल में सैलरी अर्न किया है, मैंने थोड़ा हाउस प्रॉपर्टी से रेंटल इनकम समझो अर्न किया है, एफडी से इंटरेस्ट वगैरह अर्न किया है, तो इसके सामने ये लॉस हम सेट ऑफ नहीं कर सकते हैं.
No, capital losses can be adjusted only against capital gains.
ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोविजन है। वो लोग जो सोच रहे होंगे कि ठीक है चलो हमारा थोड़ा सैलरी इनकम कम हो जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ एनी लॉसेस वी मे हैव बुक्ड ड्यूरिंग द ईयर, तो वैसे नहीं होता है। सिर्फ योर जो आपने शेयर मार्केट में कमाया और जो आपने लूज किया है, सिर्फ वो ही एक दूसरे से सेट ऑफ होते हैं। नाउ मेघा, अभी जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक देयर आर ओनली अराउंड a couple of trading sessions left for the end of the financial year, pardon me. तो हमें बताइए that this is a little last minute, you know, but do you think that one should keep in mind this tax loss harvesting strategy of sorts throughout the year? Because opportunity जब आती है, जिस तरह से markets move होते हैं वगैरह, ये कभी भी हो सकता है throughout the year. So the question is, should we limit this tax loss harvesting activity only towards the end of the year कि ठीक है अभी financial year end हो रहा है तो चलो देखते हैं मैं कहाँ tax बचा सकता हूँ या बचा सकती हूँ, or is this an activity that should be done throughout?
A very pertinent question, Mubina. And this is to answer your question, this is an activity which has to be regularly undertaken. Regular portfolio review is very, very important. Let me give you a very small example and explain. Let us say you have an underperforming asset or an asset you've been meaning to sell for a long time. So let's say in the month of June, your losses from that particular investment were only rupees 10,000. But by the time you come to March, your losses have significantly increased from 10 to 40,000. So this is not an approach any investor should have. The thumb rule of investing in stock market is to use stop losses. So a lot of traders are constantly advised to use stop losses and strictly be disciplined with utilizing those losses. Otherwise, if you go beyond stop losses, then it is a bottomless pit. You will end up dwindling your finances. Instead, what you can do is figure out the losses and get done with those losses immediately. So whatever is the capital you have, you can go ahead and reinvest the capital. So regular assessment is very, very important.
Okay, regularly अपने portfolio को देखना चाहिए। ये वैसे भी it's a very prudent financial habit to check in on your portfolio, see what it is doing. ऐसे कोई stocks है जो underperform कर रहा है for a long time और उसमें turn around करने की कोई संभावना नहीं है. So it's any which way is better to then remove these kind of stocks from your portfolio और कोई बेटर क्वालिटी के बेटर परफॉर्मिंग स्टॉक्स को ऐड करने के लिए. ऑफ कोर्स इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू कंसल्ट अ फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर आल्सो बिफोर यू डू ऑल ऑफ दिस. मेघा, ऐसे कोई मार्केट कंडीशंस हो की परिस्थिति हो when tax loss harvesting may be particularly beneficial, if you could share some tips about what the market conditions should be when we are indulging in this strategy?
So again, Mubina, this question is also very important. However, markets, of course, timing the market is very, very important. But again, an investor should also go ahead and evaluate each of the stocks for the stocks that they are basis their fundamentals. Because sometimes it may so happen that we may be in a bull run or a bear run. Market cycles are unpredictable, but that does not often mean that a particular stock is not perform good. So it is very important that we go ahead and assess the fundamentals of each of the stock. So we do have currently we may be experiencing a bear run in the market, but that does not mean that I am not holding on to a good stock. But having said that, if a trader still wants to go ahead and execute tax loss harvesting, they can always do that. They can go ahead and book the losses and repurchase the stock at their current market levels.
मेघा, अभी बात कर रहे हैं हम कैपिटल गेन्स टैक्स की, बट पिछले एक साल में हमने एक नहीं दो बजट्स देखे हैं, एक जुलाई 2024 में और फिर एक फेब 2025 में भी. तो हमें जरा व्यूवर्स को बताइए दैट फाइनल जो कैपिटल गेन्स के टैक्स रेट्स है वो क्या है, बिकॉज इट ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन द एसेट ऑन विच यू हैव एंजॉयड द कैपिटल गेन्स. वो मूवेबल है, इमूवेबल है, शेयर्स है, डेट है, तो वो हमें जरा प्लीज एक्सप्लेन कीजिए कि क्या है वो कैपिटल गेन्स के टैक्स रेट्स.
Sure, Mumina. Now, one thing with respect to budget one needs to keep in mind is the relevant budget for the current financial year, which is financial year 24-25, will be the budget 2024, the budget that came out in the month of July. Now, the budget that came out in the month of July was the final budget. Earlier, the budget that came out in Feb 2024, it was the interim budget. Final budget came out in July 2024, and whatever were the changes introduced in that budget will be relevant for the current filing year, which is financial year 24-25. So these are the rates of taxes for various asset categories. First up, if you have invested in listed equity share, The holding period, if it is under 12 months, it will be categorized as a short term capital asset chargeable to tax at the rate of 20%. If you're holding the same listed equity shares for a period of over 12 months, it will be categorized as long term capital asset chargeable to tax at the rate of 12.5%. Similarly, for equity oriented mutual funds, the criteria is the same as listed equity shares. If you're holding them for a period less than 12 months, they will be categorized as short term, chargeable to tax at the rate of 20%. And if you're holding them for more than a period of 12 months, they will be chargeable to tax at the rate of 12.5%. Now, talking about debt oriented mutual funds, it has been clarified in the budget that debt oriented mutual funds will always be categorized as short term itself, and they will be chargeable at slab rates. This is a very important change. Going forward, debt oriented mutual funds will not be categorized on the period of holding. By default, they will always be treated as short term and chargeable to tax at slab rates. When we talk about immovable assets, the criteria now is 24 months. Anything below 24 months is short term capital asset chargeable at the rate of 20%, and anything above 24 months will be categorized as long term chargeable to tax at the rate of 12.5%. If you have any other capital assets such as jewelry, paintings, etc., the criteria again is 24 months. Anything below 24 months is categorized as short term capital asset chargeable at the rate of 20%, and anything over and above 24 months will be categorized as long term capital asset chargeable at the rate of 12.5%.
तो इसके साथ ही, since you're saying that which is the right budget that will be applicable to us, maybe you should also clarify on the final income tax rates, because उसमें भी थोड़े tweaks आए हैं.
Absolutely, yes. So here again, the rate categorization will be dependent upon the date of sale. So the budget was introduced on 23rd July 2024. So whatever were the changes introduced in the budget, that is whatever were the rates of taxes we just discussed, they will be applicable on sale transactions on or after 23rd July 2024. For any transactions which has already concluded before 23rd July 2024, the rates will be as follows. If you hold a listed equity share or equity oriented mutual fund, the holding period cutoff is 1 year. If you're holding anything for more than 1 year, it will be categorized as long term capital gain. The rate of tax applicable on such gain will be 10% on gains above rupees 1 lakh. And if the holding period is less than 1 year, then it will be categorized as a short term capital asset chargeable to tax at the rate of 15%. Similarly, if you're holding any land or building or unlisted equity shares, the holding period cutoff criteria is 2 years. Anything above 2 years will be categorized as long term capital asset chargeable to tax at the rate of 20% with indexation. Anything below 2 years will be categorized as short term capital asset and chargeable to tax at the rate of 15%. If you're holding any other capital asset, the holding period criteria is 3 years. If you're holding anything for more than 3 years, it will be chargeable to tax at the rate of 10%. Anything under 3 years will be chargeable to tax at the rate of 15%. Another important point here, Mubina, to note is indexation benefit has been removed for any asset transaction on or after 23rd July. Indexation benefit has been completely removed across all asset categories, including real estate transactions. However, there is one leniency provided for any purchase you may have made before 23rd of July. Let me explain this by way of an example. You have invested in real estate in the month of June. On 1st June 2024, you invested in a real estate property. Now, you want to go ahead and sell the same real estate property after 2 years, because that is the current holding period criteria. So, after 2 years, when you go ahead and decide to sell the property, as a taxpayer, you will have an option. You can choose to tax the gains at 12.5% flat, or you can go with 20% with indexation, whichever is more beneficial as an investor, you can go ahead and opt for the same. The other side, let us say that you invested in a property after 23rd July 2024. You invested on, let's say, 25th July 2024. So, in this case, 2 years later, when you decide to go ahead and sell the property, there will be only one tax rate applicable to you, which is the 12.5% tax rate.
ओके, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। और आई थिंक ये जो आपने चार्ट प्रेजेंट किया है, इट्स समराइजिंग इट वेरी वेल, बिकॉज दैट क्लियर कट ऑफ डेट इज व्हेन द बजट वाज प्रेजेंटेड इन जुलाई 2024, और आपकी टैक्स लायबिलिटी भी अकॉर्डिंगली कैलकुलेट होगी कि आपने जुलाई के पहले बेचा या जुलाई के बाद। आई थिंक दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट। एंड बाकी तो ऑफ कोर्स मेघा एंड यू नो प्लीज डू करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग, जो हमारा एनुअल इंफॉर्मेशन स्टेटमेंट आता है, दैट हैज डिटेल्स ऑफ ऑल योर your equity transactions as well, because it has become so seamless, the entire process। हमारा जो KYC हम करते हैं, जो पैन कार्ड हम लिंक करते हैं, उसकी वजह से अब हमारी सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन सिर्फ एक पोर्टल में मिलती है। सो मेगा, डू यू थिंक विद दैट इवन टैक्स फाइलिंग फॉर पीपल हु मे बी गेटिंग अ लिटिल ओवरवेल्म्ड कि वो लोग ये कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे, कैसे जब रिपोर्ट करना होगा रिटर्न फाइलिंग के टाइम पे कैसे करेंगे, डू यू थिंक दैट दिस प्रोसेस हैज बीन मेड इजी थैंक्स टू दिस AIR that's been introduced?
Yes, absolutely. AIS, which is the annual information statement, it is very, very useful for taxpayers. In fact, we do advise a lot of our taxpayers to go ahead and check the AIS statement before they go ahead and file the return of income. Now, let me give you one example. That we did have a client who went ahead and shared their capital gain statement with us. However, when we compared the capital gain statement with the AIS to go ahead and just check the entries, the correctness, we saw that there was significant deviation. So we went ahead and reached out to the customer and asked them, see, we see that there is a significant deviation, and we also proposed him a couple of cases why this could be. So that is when the investor actually went ahead and realized that he is also investing through another platform. So then he went ahead and gave us the capital gain statement from the other platform. So there may be chances wherein, as an investor, especially if you're somebody who's using multiple platforms, then there are chances you may miss out a particular platform and not report it or not give those details to your tax expert or the CA who's doing the filing. So it is very important. It's a very important document. Having said that, there is also one thing I would like to highlight here. Ever so often, we see that AIS is not fully updated at the start of the financial year. So if you were to be referring to your AIS either in the month of April or May, it may not be fully updated, for the simple reason that the year has just ended and people start their reporting compliances in April. So it might take some time. So while AIS is a very important tool, something that should not be missed, but please do not rely on it fully. Also do your due diligence. Go ahead and see all the reports that you're getting from your respective brokers. Check your bank statement, which will give you a more clearer idea of whatever your incomes have been for the year.
ओके, एक्सेलेंट। आई थिंक एक इम्पोर्टेंट जो पॉइंट है इसमें, दैट with the new tax regime coming in and making interest tax rates more attractive, जो टैक्स प्लानिंग है, जो हम इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करते थे, उसकी इम्पोर्टेंस थोड़ी शायद घट गई है। बट विद टैक्स लॉस हार्वेस्टिंग यू कैन एक्चुअली स्ट्रेटेजाइज अ वे इन विच द टोटल टैक्सेबल इनकम थोड़ा कम हो सकता है। दिस इज, रिमेंबर, अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टैक्स प्लानिंग स्ट्रैटेजी, और अगर इसके अच्छी तरह से इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं, इट कैन वर्क वंडर्स, लाइक आई मेंशन्ड, टू increase and improve your overall post-tax portfolio. It also in a way helps balance out your portfolio very well, unclutters your portfolio, क्योंकि जो underperformers है basically आप उनको आपके portfolio से हटा रहे हैं, and ensuring there are good quality stocks in your portfolio. So twin benefits है tax loss harvesting के। याद रहे that आपके पास कुछ ही दिनों है ये strategy को implement करने के लिए, तो जल्दी से आपके financial and tax advisor के साथ बैठिए, उन underperformers को highlight कीजिए, and then you can enjoy the benefits of tax loss harvesting. इसी के साथ we've come to the end of this webinar. Megha, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing with us this valuable information.
Thank you, Mubina. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful host.
Okay, thank you so much, viewers, for tuning in. We'll be back with a brand new webinar right here on 5paisa.
Investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Please read all related documents carefully before investing.